Download View It to watch WKYT News on your schedule.
And on KYT, all right. We are going to continue our coverage on WKYT in just a moment.
Why is this man so happy? He's got Advantage Checking from Community Trust Bank. CTB's got him covered with credit monitoring and identity theft protection, cellular phone replacement and repair, roadside assistance service, and travel and leisure discounts. And with his Advantage Plus interest checking, he'll never pay a CTB ATM fee no matter where he uses it. So be happy. Get Advantage Checking from Community Trust Bank.
Want to turn this into this? Get to the tax refund sale at Furniture World Superstore. Use your tax refund money to get new furniture and mattresses, plus no interest financing for up to 60 months. Get the most for your tax refund at Furniture World Superstore.
Past 2 hours.
Watch WKYT News live and on demand, totally free with no subscription. Local news, first alert weather, and original investigations. Stream WKYT for free now.
When it comes to a lung cancer diagnosis, you need to know the facts. Fact, in the United States, over 25,000 black men and women are diagnosed with lung cancer each year. Fact, our community is more likely to develop advanced lung cancer than any other racial or ethnic group. Fact, lack of access to health care, lack of clear resources for help, and mistrust in the medical system are not helping us beat this. Fact, lung cancer continues to be the leading cause of cancer deaths among black men and women. But there is a way for us to take back control of our health. Learn all that you can about you or a loved one's cancer diagnosis and treatment options. Get more information on lung cancer, screening, and clinical trials by visiting standuptocancer.org/lung cancer today. Together, we can bring about real change because fact, change is possible. And it starts with you.
With First Alert Weather, this is WKYT News.
Good evening, now 7 o'clock, and our news coverage continues from WKYT of this deadly and destructive day here in Kentucky, and a historic day with all of the wind and the powerful storm situation that we've had.
Yeah, we have a lot of damage, but sadly we do have 2 deaths being reported now. Governor Andy Beshear saying that we have a death in Simpson County tonight and Edmonson County as well. This is a prolonged event. We are now several hours into this, and Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has been here really all day long focused on what we thought were at first going to be storms, and now it is this prolonged, really high winds that we're seeing.
The high wind warning was issued 24 hours in advance of this. We had the first alert weather day issued for this on Monday to give you heads up to the severe thunderstorms and the high winds that we are seeing out there today. And those winds today are historic. Some of the highest gusts ever recorded in the state of Kentucky are occurring or have occurred in the past 5 or 6 hours in differing parts of the state. We've had what is likely to be, overall, across such a large swath of real estate in Kentucky, the windiest day in modern history, at least, if not in recorded history. Live view from our tower cam, where we had a gust today in Lexington at 76 miles an hour. We had a gust at 75 miles an hour. We had 2 gusts back-to-back at 74 miles an hour. We hit 69 and 70 miles per hour numerous times, and the winds are still gusting to 63 miles an hour in Lexington. Folks, we've been doing this since 3 o'clock this afternoon. We're in our 4th hour where winds have at least hit 60 miles an hour, at least our 4th hour. It may be in our 5th hour. But we are now in hour number 4 with winds of 60 miles an hour or greater in Lexington. Nothing that I've seen can compare to what we're dealing with right now in terms of the winds. High wind warning is out across the entire Commonwealth. We've got damage just about in every county, and we're seeing my Kentucky weather feed just keeps lighting up with pictures and videos coming in, videos like what we're seeing. Take a look at this. This out of Richmond. And I think that's not too far away from the Walmart. Soft Shoe, I think, is what we're dealing with there. Bill, you know that area. It's down in your neck of the woods. That's a big sign that's blown out into the road there. And you're seeing the fire department and the police that are on the scene So, signs like that likely, all about the region now. Okay, back to our wind warning. All right, guys. High wind warning continues. We'll take a look at what follows this coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Chris, we appreciate it. Again, there you are.
Correct on that location, by the way.
Okay.
It's across from the Walmart and near the Baptist Health Hospital there in Richmond, that soft shoe at that location.
And by the way, folks are, they're saying, when is this going to stop?
Yeah.
Because we're 4 and 5 hours into a sustained high wind event. You've got another 3 hours or so in Lexington before those winds can drop below 40 miles an hour for gusts. So we've got a little while to go through, and that'll likely create more damage as we go into the evening. But slowly but surely, those winds are coming down. That is going to be very good news.
Yeah.
No doubt about that.
Is welcome news. We just got into our newsroom. We actually have a crew there at the scene. We're going to try to effort some more pictures and information, but we do understand here in Lexington that the coroner has been called to a scene in Lexington where a tree fell on a car, and we will have more information. It's a developing story right now, and we'll try to get you that information as soon as we get a few more details.
And that's tough news, and if that proves out to be the case, would be a third fatality in Kentucky today. All right, Chad Hedrick in Hamburg for us right now, an area that has also been seeing a situation near Hamburg right now. We've had damage reports in that area as well. Let's check in with him. Chad?
Well, hey there, Bill and Amber. Yeah, we just came off the exit of the interstate here in the Hamburg area. We've been going along 64 in particular all evening long. We've seen several tractor trailers toppled onto their side because of these gusty winds here today, at least 4 or 5 just within a little mile or so stretch of each other, just beyond the northern split, headed towards Georgetown in the westbound lanes. We can tell you that traffic severely backed up in that area as well, all the way to the Newtown Pike exit. That's where they're finally able to divert people, and traffic is moving better than along 75 and 64. Beyond that, we can tell you we also saw an incident in Georgetown just off the interstate where a man was driving his tractor trailer home. He was about 6 miles or so away, and he said he thought he was in the clear. He had gone through some of these winds earlier in the day and stopped right there and toppled over. Thankfully, he is okay. And then we can tell you just traffic here along Winchester Road, and then also right along 75 here behind us is moving better. Also, the winds just being out here all afternoon, I can tell you they're still very gusty, but we can tell a little bit more of a difference now than what maybe just an hour or so ago, as we were really seeing those strong and gusty winds. Really even hard for us to stand up at some points as we were at some of these scenes. But we're going to keep you posted on the traffic impacts here. A lot of people trying to probably still get home. A lot of roads have been blocked off all afternoon and evening, especially if you've been trying to get on the interstate. I know a lot of people commute to and from Lexington, and there are a lot of cars stuck on the interstate right now, but we'll keep you posted. But for now, live in Lexington, Chad Hedrick, WKYT.
All right, Chad, we appreciate it. And we had that news that WKYT just pushed about the coroner being on scene in Lexington, where it appears a tree has fallen onto a car. It's in the Lane area.
The Lane, which is a small street, which is off of Mason Headley Road. It is in the area of Cardinal Hill Rehabilitation Hospital. So, and we do have a reporter headed there, and we'll get you more details. But again, the coroner on the scene there off Mason Headley.
Our Julia Sandor has been live for us now for the last several hours in Frankfort there along exit 53, where they have been trying to effort and move a truck out of the area. She's joining us now again live. Julia?
That's right. We're still here. It's been about almost 2 hours now, and they have finally gotten that semi-truck that flipped on its side up, and they're trying to get it down the street now. I mean, I'm going to step out of the way for you so you can see it up there. Some of the traffic is finally flowing. Police have opened a lane up again. That wind blew over that semi-truck, and they say that there was nothing in the back of that truck, which made it more susceptible to falling over, and they're hoping that right now, as they try to move it, it won't happen again. And police say, of course, they don't have that much information because they're responding to so many calls in the area of damage and other things. And on the road, there's a lot of wind blowing, the signs, some of these power lines, and it's continuing. It's been going on for the last 2 hours while we've been out here. But you can tell that crews are hard at work and continuing to work. And it's important to, stay safe. A lot of these people are probably coming home from work right now, but the traffic is moving steady again. And it's just important to stay off the roads if possible, stay indoors. As you can see, this wind is picking up again. Comes in bursts, comes in gusts, and there's a little bit of rain right now as well, but we haven't seen much of that throughout the past 2 hours. But for now, live in Frankfurt, Julia Sandor, WKYT.
Julia, thank you.
You know, you think about Frankfurt's a city that really swells in the daytime with state employees, but the executive branch government buildings were closed today for the most part, with the exception of the Emergency Operations Center and so on, by the governor's order. So that would reduce the number of people trying to leave right
And
now.
it also just goes to show you how long it's taking crews to really get some of these trucks righted and to be able to get things moving again in those areas. I mean, she's been out there now for hours for us.
And Hallie DeVore is tracking more damage in Lexington right now, a home damaged along Simba Way, and Hallie's joining us right now live with more on that as we're now into darkness and people are having to deal with a situation in that circumstance.
Yeah, Bill, again, right off Simba Way, which is right off Old Todd's Road. This house felt the effects of some of this crazy wind. We're seeing it peeled off the roof of the shingles. If you can see it, it's a little dark up there, which ripped out some of the wooden boards of the roof with it, So there are some holes in the roof right now. You can maybe see some of those debris still flying out of the holes with these strong wind gusts. That duplex owner, she took shelter across the street. She's okay. She said she was inside the house when the roof was blown off and she heard it, but she did not realize the severity of it until she stepped outside. And then next to some of these houses, there's a lot of the sides of houses that are still coming off, and overall just a lot of debris from trash and things like this roof that are flying around. So we do recommend you stay inside. Don't test your luck. Those things that seem small, seem light, when they're picked up with that strong wind gust can be really dangerous. For now in Lexington, Hallie DeVore, WKYT.
All right, Hallie, we appreciate it, and we continue to get so many photos from folks that have downed trees at their homes. They've got part of their roofs that are missing with shingles and whatnot. So a lot of folks dealing with this tonight.
Some in our downtown areas and our surrounding towns and so on. We have nearly 473,000 customers who are without power right now. Almost the entire state experiencing some outages right now. A little bit ago when we talked to the State Emergency Operations Center, they talked about facing this night and maybe days ahead without power, reminding folks to be very careful when using a generator and any kind of alternate heating source.
And also to be patient, because the state is dealing with something that's all the way from McCracken County all the way here to central Kentucky and beyond. So it is a wide swath of damage. We have been hearing reports throughout the evening of downed trees, as we said, debris in the road, damage to homes.
And we spoke with Lexington Mayor Linda Gorton earlier about what crews are focusing on right now as the reports of storm damage continue to come in.
So we're mobilizing right now crews to focus on opening the roads. The crews are coming from parks, environmental services, waste management, and they're just going to clear the roads and clean up later. So we want people to stay home.
And basically our message was stay home, don't be in the way, right? The mayor is urging people to not call 911 unless it is an emergency situation. First responders very busy responding to calls right now and trying to figure out what we're dealing with out there.
Well, we appreciate you staying with us on this extended coverage of this major windy event here in Kentucky.
At Kroger, we want our fresh produce to meet your expectations, which is why we do up to a 27-point inspection to check for things like color and scarring. Because when it comes to fresh, higher standards mean fresher produce. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
No two bodies are the same. Some pets never got that message, but Always Flex Foam did. It protects against different flows for up to 0 leaks, and it flexes to fit all bodies for up to 0 feel. Feel it yourself with Always Flex Foam.
Can you save water using a less than full dishwasher?
We do it every night.
Do it with Cascade Platinum Plus. 1 load of dishes in the sink uses 24 gallons of water, while a dishwasher uses less than 4 per cycle. So do it with Cascade, the surprising way to save water.
We're here today to set the record straight about Dupuytren's contracture. Surgery is not your only treatment option. People may think their contracture has to be severe to be treated, but it doesn't. Visit findahandspecialist.com today to get started.
Our big 4-day warehouse clearance event is going on this weekend only at Lexington Overstock. Take advantage of huge savings, like the incredible deal on this stylish Ashley 2-piece sectional, 4 days only. Go to LexingtonOverstockWarehouse.com now for more details.
When your door is always open, so is the fridge. At Kroger, however you shop, in-store, pickup, or delivery, you get the same great prices, deals, and rewards. That's a win-win-win. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
When it comes to a lung cancer diagnosis, you need to know the facts. Fact, in the United States, over 25,000 black men and women are diagnosed with lung cancer each year. Fact, our community is more likely to develop advanced lung cancer than any other racial or ethnic group. Fact, lack of access to health care, lack of clear resources for help, and mistrust in the medical system are not helping us beat this. Fact, lung cancer continues to be the leading cause of cancer deaths among black men and women. But there is a way for us to take back control of our health. Learn all that you can about you or a loved one's cancer diagnosis and treatment options. Get more information on lung cancer, screening, and clinical trials by visiting standuptocancer.org/lung cancer today. Together, we can bring about real change because fact, change is possible, and it starts with you.
We roll on as the winds continue to roll on across the region with this WKYT First Alert Weather Day. Hi, everybody. Hope you're making the best of this historic situation in terms of the winds, devastating winds at that, damaging, widespread damaging winds across the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Essentially, today was akin to living through a strong tropical storm, and even at times we had hurricane force winds gusting throughout the region. 9 different sky cams showing some wet streets. We're getting in on a few showers that are peeling back in on the backside of our departing low pressure. We'll get those. Temperatures are dropping now through the 40s. The winds are still absolutely insane at 63 miles per hour at that gust in Lexington, 61 into Frankfort, 62 Maysville. Widespread 70 to 80 miles per hour for those gusts with a line of thunderstorms, severe storms, and then behind that as well with a clear sky and sometimes blue skies with the sun out. Winds were at 70 to 75 and 80 miles an hour. Your high wind warning, it's been a long day, your high wind warning continues for the entire region. Flood warnings are out, flash flood warnings into far northern Kentucky. They had a lot of water into the northern half of the region a little earlier in the day. The severe thunderstorm risk, the risk for any tornadoes, that's long gone. At this point, though the damage is still widespread, that low continues to wrap up to the northeast of Covington. It's heading toward Columbus. We got some showers that are into central Kentucky now, spiraling around your low pressure. And those winds have been just crazy gusty all day long and will continue to gust up this evening. Finally, they're going to calm down as we get into the latter part of the evening to 40 miles an hour for gusts. And then overnight will begin to really subside. On the backside of our low, look at the snowstorm. From north of Indianapolis toward Detroit, Michigan, that's when you know you've got a potent, mature storm. It's got a snowstorm on one side, severe weather, tornadoes in front of it, and high winds like we're seeing now. Those gusts today, 70 to 80 miles per hour. One of, if not the single windiest day in recorded history across the Commonwealth of Kentucky. So anybody who is wondering, well, why did they cancel schools? This is why. I mean, could you imagine having kids on school buses at 3 or 4 o'clock this afternoon when 70 mile per hour winds were ripping through here? We saw what happened today with those high-profile tractor trailers on the interstate. Many of them got flipped over and tumbled. Did you want a school bus, which is a high-profile vehicle, to catch a wind gust and get flipped over? Absolutely not. So kudos to all the local school officials for making the absolute right call today. Low pressure to the north of Covington, rolling its way out of town. Goodbye, good riddance. 52 tomorrow. It gets better. Can't get worse. 62 on Sunday. Sunday's really nice. We should hit the low and mid-60s. But tonight, it's a chillier brand of air. How about readings that'll drop into the upper 30s by 11? We should hold into the low and mid-30s first thing out the door tomorrow. Your Saturday afternoon, 50 to 55. Super, super nice afternoon. Unfortunately, a lot of folks are going to spend that Saturday and that Sunday out picking up the pieces, trying to rebuild. In a lot of cases, our power crews are going to be out trying to get the lights back on after what is likely to be, for many folks, likely to be an extended power outage. Because, guys, you think about where we are right now. We're still getting 60 miles per hour with those winds. So our crews, our power crews, God bless them, they're out trying to get the electric back on, but they can only do so much until the winds calm down.
Yeah, and Chris, how about we put this into perspective, too? Speaking of crews, first responders, Lexington Fire putting out on social media tonight that nearly every truck in the city is out responding to runs, including reserve apparatus. They say they still continue to get numerous calls for down power lines, trees, people trapped in elevators, even some structure fires. And they're just, again, please advising people, if you can, stay home tonight. That is the best way to help them do their jobs.
And just don't do anything that would put a further strain on them. Obviously, the governor...
That puts it into perspective
Governor
tonight.
earlier today noted that he had pre-positioned some National Guard people. They were training, and word came to them, no weekend.
No weekend training.
Right.
And they'll probably
That's training in itself.
Be called into duty this weekend and next week.
Well, we have this. This is into the newsroom. We continue to try to update you on. This is a new picture from the scene. The coroner has been called to the scene here in Lexington where a tree fell on a car. It happened in an area called The Lane early Friday tonight. Those winds blowing through. And so we are efforting Julia Sandor to get her over to this scene. Brian Milam has been over there gathering some pictures and some video for us. And so we'll get her there and hopefully get that to you here shortly.
And again, that's just off Mason Headley and in the area of Cardinal Hill Rehabilitation Hospital. So we will let you know what we find out on that.
All right, stay with us as we continue our extended coverage here on WKYT.
It would appear that the butler did it. But this isn't a whodunit film. It's a Nissan sales event ad.
Get 0% financing for 36 months on select models.
Catch these offers while you can.
No matter who you are, being yourself can be tough when you have severe asthma. Triggers can pop up out of nowhere, causing inflammation that can lead to asthma attacks. But no matter what type of severe asthma you have, Tespire can help. Tespire is an add-on treatment for people 12 and over that proactively reduces inflammation, which means you could have fewer attacks, breathe better, and relieve your asthma symptoms. So you can be you, whoever you are. Tespire is not a rescue medication. Don't take Tespire if you're allergic to it. Allergic reactions like rash or an eye allergy can happen. Don't stop your asthma treatments unless your doctor tells you to. Tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection or your asthma worsens. Sore throat, joint, and back pain may occur. Avoid live vaccines. By helping control your asthma, Tespire can help you be you. No matter who you are, ask your asthma specialist about Tespire today.
Watch me. Watch me pirouette with style and grace. An open floor of inspiration. This is my place. 5 positions to start, leotard and tights. A story through movement, under music and lights. Straight and tall, they promised I'd stand. I'm a ballerina who twirls like the blades of a fan. Watch me. Innovative scoliosis treatment at Shriners Children's. The most amazing care anywhere.
It would appear that the butler did it. But this isn't a whodunit film. It's a Nissan sales event ad.
Get 0% financing for 36 months on select models.
Catch these offers while you can.
I'm here for you.
What are you learning from Girls on the Run?
Never give up.
Beyond this gate is actually the border with Ukraine.
We've seen people not just opening their hearts to Ukrainian refugees, but their homes.
Where will you go?
I'm here for you.
Past 2 hours. Watch WKYT News live and on demand, totally free with no subscription. Stream WKYT for free now.
Welcome back to WKYT News, continuing coverage of today's historic winds here in the Commonwealth that have caused damage and death. Emergency crews have been responding to calls of all sorts of damage and power outages throughout the day. It's just the beginning of what's likely to be at least a long weekend.
The Kentucky Emergency Management Director Jeremy Slinker talked to us earlier tonight, and he says much of the work will begin tomorrow.
Let the wind get out, let the storms leave, and then we'll start discussing
discussing damage assessments, probably some tonight, but mostly tomorrow when it becomes daylight. And then we still may have some response left, as the storms continue to move east.
Well, Slinker also wants homeowners without power to be safe if they are using a generator, to make sure that it is outdoors and that it is away from your home.
Very, very important. Yeah. And this video comes from our general manager here at WKYT, Jeff Anderson. And no, first off, we will show you this. Well, there it is. This is the video from downtown. We switch now to it. And you can see that high winds blew items off of the roof at the Hyatt in downtown Lexington, certainly a landmark. It looked like something coming off the side of the building there. Just one of those incredible scenes today downtown.
And, we actually saw this in another area of town today, too. And certainly this is the case in a lot of different places. We're seeing different communities now talking about some places in their downtown areas coming down in the streets. All right, let's take a look. This is some new video. Terry Adams actually sent this to me on Facebook. He was able to shoot this there. This is where Samantha Valentino was earlier today in downtown Lexington there at the Circuit Court office building there.
The Robert F. Stevens Justice building there.
And so when she was there, you could see all of the debris that came off of that building and went down. But he sent us in some video to kind of show you up on top of that building. We had some other video there. But then again, down below, that area was closed off because there was quite a bit of debris left on the street down below.
And we can't thank our viewers enough who have helped us today in covering the story and with all of the sites that you've given us from out there. This was shared on Chris's Twitter page today. A look out of Somerset. This is where a tree almost hits a man on his porch. You see there, he came out, and then that tree was suddenly down in his yard.
Yeah, and here in Lexington, this was shared by a viewer near the Southland area. You can see a tree has completely blocked the road there. This is on Sheridan Avenue. There are multiple photos that have been sent into this of so many trees down in so many different neighborhoods.
This is a tree uprooted along Darby Creek in Lexington. That, of course, on the east side of the city. They're in the neighborhood of Palumbo in that area. And you can see that large tree just simply there now to have to be cleaned up. Hopefully not much more damage than that there.
Bill, you've said this many times. This is a historic day here. It has become a deadly day here in Kentucky. And certainly this state has been hit so many times, over and over with these events. And now this one, this prolonged wind event today.
Well, we're challenged once again as Kentuckians. The old, you go back to the old slogan, United we stand.
Yeah,
right?
Now we'll pull together. Stay with us. There's much more to come here on our extended coverage.
Lexington, Kentucky, where every day there's places to go, things to do. And WKYT is your home for it all. Everyday Kentucky with India and Jen. Weekday mornings at 9 a.m.
Catch Cash Daniel every week talking with local athletes about what they do outside their sport and in their communities on Players Corner Off the Bench with Cash Daniel every Thursday on Everyday Kentucky on WKYT. Brought to you by UK Federal Credit Union.
Special report. Spectrum just launched Spectrum One, where Spectrum Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and unlimited mobile come together to keep you seamlessly connected wherever you are!
Switch to Spectrum One and get 300 megabit internet for $49.99 a month, plus free advanced Wi-Fi and one free line of unlimited mobile with no contract. Call 1-833-743-4999.
The Coopers here just got Spectrum One. Why did you switch?
With Spectrum One, we get a super fast, reliable connection. Look, with Spectrum Internet, I can stream Spectrum News across all our devices.
And the advanced Wi-Fi has enhanced security and privacy features that automatically block online threats, keeping our family and devices safe and secure.
How reliable is Spectrum Mobile?
It's a super reliable service coast to coast.
And it includes nationwide 5G.
Switch to Spectrum One and get 300 megabit internet for $49.99 a month, plus free advanced Wi-Fi and one free line of unlimited mobile with talk, text, and data. Call 1-833-743-4999 or visit a Spectrum store today.
Well, as we wrap up tonight, we know that it has been a long day and a long evening for a lot of folks, and it's going to be even longer for those folks who are dealing with a power outage in their community and at their homes tonight.
Pushing 500,000. Look at this, 480, almost 484,000 now, guys, without power. And that doesn't include Eastern Kentucky reporting in just yet, because the winds were, getting into Eastern Kentucky last.
We all here, sometimes we talk about having the long view because we've all been here a long time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I have the longest. But Gustav, in 2009, I think.
2008, 2009. That followed the Ohio River and knocked out a lot of electric. But, from just a wind non-tropical system, that was a remnant low of a former hurricane, Gustav, that caused all kinds of damage. But today, one of the windiest days in recorded history around here.
As we looked for light moments today, I remember Chris at one point saying we have had basically a hurricane without a beach today. And that's
no beach,
There's a lot of rainbows out today, which was nice.
Right, because you went from a severe thunderstorm to blue skies like that. It just passed over you.
Well, we're going to stop.
Awesome.
Thank you, YouTube. We're going to regroup. Join us on the CW at 10 o'clock and then at 11 tonight on WKYT.
With DirecTV, I can get live TV and on demand together. Football, Housewives. Football, Housewives. Football, Housewives.
Whoops.
Oh, no.
The Housewives are on the field. I repeat, the Housewives are on the field.
I just want to talk!
Who flips the table? All right, I get it.
Call 1-800-DIRECTV to guarantee your price for 2 years.